We are continuing with this non-stop coverage right here on India Today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has decided to make a pit stop in Lahore. The latest information that we are getting on our news server is that his plane could in fact land any minute now. We are getting all the latest details. You will get all those details right here. These are shots, Smita, that we are getting in from Kabul, where the Prime Minister was earlier this morning.
Yes, he's accompanied there by Afghanistan CEO Dr. Abdullah. Remember, Narendra Modi's, in fact, Afghanistan trip was also not officially announced for security reasons. Kabul has been facing a barrage of, in fact, terror attacks. And these visuals are from a short while back when Narendra Modi, in fact, boarded the plane, his aircraft, to finally head out to Delhi. But of course, that pit stop that's happening in Lahore at the moment. So it will take a good half an hour to 40 minutes for Narendra Modi essentially to land in fact, Lahore
Also, just to give our viewers a little bit of perspective, these pictures are from Kabul in Afghanistan, but usually this is a deferred footage, which basically means that this waving and climbing inside that aircraft must have happened about 15-20 minutes ago. So the Prime Minister must already be on its way. This is an Indian Air Force plane. It says Bharatiya Vayu Sena. This is an Indian Air Force plane which the Prime Minister has taken, which will fly into Lahore, inside Pakistan. The first time since NDA's Atal Bihari Vajpayee actually went to Pakistan. There was no representation, especially from the head of state from India inside Pakistan during the UPA regime. The latest information, Smita, that we are now getting from our colleague Maha Siddiqui, she says that this meeting is going to take place inside the state lounge at the Allama Iqbal Airport in Lahore.
Yes, that's what we are hearing, but it's very, very interesting. You know, it was in fact the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, his famous saying that, you know, there should be a day keeping in mind the geographical distances, that we are neighbors, that one should be able to do this entire distance between Delhi, Lahore and Kabul in the course of a day, over breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then head back home. And that was his dream, which he used to in fact spell out in most conclaves and meetings. But it is Narendra Modi who is now doing it. He was, of course, in Kabul in the morning, where they also handed over in that Afghan parliament built by India's CPWD. Let's in fact bring in our guest who is joining us from Pakistan via Skype, Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat, who is with us. Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat, you know, these images are bound to, of course, while they are unprecedented, that suddenly an Indian Prime Minister makes a pit stop in Lahore. It's unprecedented, but they are bound to also revive questions related to the last time that Atal Bihari Vajpayee, though he went back in 2002 for the SAARC summit, but before that, when he went back with that Dosti bus, there was also a Kargil war that happened. How have things changed?
You know, this the Pakistan and India relation since 1947 is the hallmark of this relation is mistrust, and this mistrust has been because of lack of mutual the type of relation that these two countries had. And I think now it is a time that the subcontinent deserve better, and there is a requirement that these two governments, these two prime ministers come together. They have that confidence in each other, so that they can take up meaningful dialogue to bring peace to the subcontinent.
But do you think, for, you know, both the sides of leadership in India, Pakistan, perhaps this story, this narrative can only break free of those historical complexities when leadership on either side is in a position where they can take risks? Does Narendra Modi and Nawaz Sharif come across to you as two men who can actually take risks and survive?
You see, they have got different domestic compulsions and they have different international compulsions. The regional powers like Russia and China and the global power, that is America, they want India and Pakistan to have peace in this region. Whereas the both leaders, they have certain strong domestic pressure group which is against peace in the subcontinent, and their existence is because of chaos. And they want this chaos to exist so that their existence is guaranteed in their respective countries. They would exercise their force on both of these two gentlemen who want to steer the subcontinent to peace, and I think they have to stand high above stupid things obtuse things and ensure that nothing comes their way to bring peace to the
Lieutenant Colonel
subcontinent.
Shafkat, you know, here in India, increasingly there is a sense of great optimism regarding India-Pakistan relationship, and very rightly so. There has to be that sense. I'm sure that sense is there in Pakistan also, which you have in fact been exhibiting as a viewpoint. My point is, it will be more significant to know what the outcome of these talks are going to be. Yes, there was a position initially that Pakistan must talk terror for India to engage. Now India feels that let's engage with them and get them to talk about terror and shun terror. Do you think that should be top priority for Pakistan as well, and not harp on Kashmir?
No, look, whatever you, till the time you have this concept about Pakistani concern, like you call it harping on Kashmir, similarly a Pakistani can say you harp on terrorism.
No, we don't harp on terrorism. Terrorism is a reality. We are suffering from terrorism. There's no action on Mumbai 26/11. It's a valid concern internationally.
They must act. Pakistan must act when they come on to fulfill each other's obligations toward peace. They would do all the things so that they ensure that they are doing their bit. They are doing their part of peace measure. And Pakistan must take an action on 26/11. Similarly, India must not address Kashmir discussion as harping on Kashmir. It must realize, accept and recognize that this is an unresolved issue and it needs to be resolved, though bilaterally, but it needs to be resolved peacefully.
Okay.
Until the time they have this approach to each other, there will be no peace. Nobody can force peace on other.
No, you cannot force peace on other, but not sure if you know, if all of these, because there have been several instances in India and Pakistan where the focus has really been on optics, on atmospherics, on the build-up. But when two leaders, when two prime ministers meet, you know, in Paris, now of course in Lahore, that definitely adds that political push to an entire process, we would say.
Look, I think that all the irritants that are one encounters them once you move toward peace are existence. Their existence is due to mistrust of these two countries. The mistrust that exists between these two countries give birth to these irritants which are existing, and these irritants are preventing peace come to subcontinent. If these two leaders take steps and measures to ensure that peace comes to subcontinent, these irritants would never be able to raise their head. There would be no 26/11. There will be no Kashmir problem. There will be no Balochistan problem. There will be no problem.
Sir, but if the one Sharif,
is the lack of trust.
Sir, but if Miss, you know, I'll be cutting across live to Kaswar Klasner, our correspondent also. But before that, sir, because you insist that, you know, when these two leaders meet, irritants will be removed. I'm tempted to ask that when Mr. Nawaz Sharif takes these steps, will he be backed by the other Sharif?
I told you there would be a big pressure groups in both the countries. What do you think, Mr. Narendra Modi can go back and he would not face any sort of questioning from different groups that have supported him to win these elections and come into power by playing on to a certain tune of anti-Pakistan? No, he will face a lot of criticism and look what happened to your,
you know, Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat, that criticism is India's internal matter, and that is going to be something which the government, I am sure, will deal with. But if the government is able to come ahead with something conclusive through the help of these talks, then I guess the government would have a very strong point. It's an out-of-box solution. It's out-of-box thinking. Nobody is going to criticize Prime Minister Narendra Modi if he is able to actually deliver. But for that, you need two hands to clap. The government has been saying time and again over here that it would walk two steps if Pakistan walks one. The question here, Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat, will Pakistan walk that one step?
No, I don't think that Narendra Modi sahab can walk two steps if Pakistan walk one. Each of them would
why is that your assessment?
They would remain in step. They
Why
have
is that
to
your
walk
assessment?
Step by step. They will have to move step by step. And the peace would come once they move step by step. They must fulfill each other's requirement. I am an analyst, right? I am not a government representative or
but why is this your analysis?
What I think is, now, Mr. Nawaz Sharif must take pledge and fulfill that pledge, and similarly, Mr. Narendra Modi must take a pledge and must fulfill the pledge. and they should come out of the box. It is out of box that Pakistan and India can reach a peaceful
Okay, glad at least
existence.
that on both the sides we agree that this is out of box. So there is one agreement there, and it's right. The questions, of course, will be asked on both sides. Sanket, the Congress, the opposition here, and even the Shiv Sena, the own alliance partners, have started asking some questions. But Umar Abdullah, the National Conference, in fact, chief, has just tweeted saying the re-engagement with Pakistan is a good step and a very welcome development. However, more than grand gestures, we need consistency. That's another reaction that's coming in. Let's cut across to Kaswar Klasra, who joins us from Islamabad. Kaswar, what are you picking up from Lahore? It's another, I think, a couple of minutes before that aircraft lands in Lahore. What is the program thereon?
Definitely, you rightly said that the Prime Minister Modi's plane is likely to land within a couple of minutes at Lahore International, Lama Iqbal International Airport. And according to my sources, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is certainly to arrive at Islamabad airport to receive the dignified guests. On the other hand, India's High Commission to Pakistan, Mr. T.C. Rahman, Dr. Rahman, he's on the way to Lahore and he's likely to miss the welcome ceremony for Mr. Modi. So, according to my sources, the meeting is going to take place at the airport's very, very important personality lounge. And definitely some newspapers, some news channels here are running the news that he's likely to go to attend a little ceremony there at Nawaz Sharif's sprawling villa arrive. But my sources said that he is likely to stay inside the airport and he will be there by 5 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time, and definitely will be meeting over there. And the Lahore airport has been declared as red zone in Lahore, and it's completely under the custody
No, Kaswar,
of
if you could
law
just
enforcement.
if you could just repeat this, are you basically saying that this meeting is going to take place at 5 p.m.?
No. I'm not going to say that the meeting is going to take place at 5 p.m. But I have a point that the Prime Minister Modi is likely to stay in Pakistan until 5 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time, and it means he will be flying for New Delhi at 5 p.m. Definitely, yeah.
Okay, I can tell you, in fact, Sanket, some of the information that I'm getting in from my sources in Islamabad is that the meeting is expected to now last for 1 hour. Once Mr. Narendra Modi's aircraft lands in Lahore, the meeting will last for 1 hour, is what sources have confirmed to India today. Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni.
Yes, Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni is joining us on the phone at this moment. Mr. Kulkarni, how hopeful are you of a positive outcome from these talks? Because you have been a victim of a form of hatred when people used to talk about talks with Pakistan.
I'm very hopeful of a very positive outcome coming out of.
Looks like we have lost that audio connection with Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni. Remember, in fact, just very recently, when he tried launching in that book written by former Pakistani Foreign Minister Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri, and we saw the kind of reaction that he had to face, where his face was completely inked black by Shiv Sena activists in Mumbai. Despite that, of course, the book launch did happen eventually.
In fact, Shiv Sena has criticized this particular meeting. We are getting reactions where the Shiv Sena has not welcomed this particular meeting of both the Prime Ministers, saying that you must talk terror first. There should be zero tolerance to terror. There should be absolutely there should be a complete stop on terror, and then only any dialogue must take place with Pakistan.
Yes, I believe that we will have Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni back, not just on the phone line, but on the video line with us. And he is already connected. Yes, please go ahead. We're sorry you couldn't complete your answer just a short while ago. Mr. Kulkarni, can you
I
hear
was
us?
saying that I am very, very hopeful, and we all should be hopeful. I can hear you.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
I am saying that all of us should be hopeful of a positive outcome of this very bold move by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, going straight to Lahore to greet the Pakistani Prime Minister on his birthday. It's not just birthday diplomacy, it's not just symbolic, it's very substantive. Because we all know that very recently the two Prime Ministers took some mature decisions to restart the process. It's now called the comprehensive dialogue process, bilateral dialogue process, and in a way the two prime ministers are laying the foundation for this comprehensive bilateral dialogue by meeting today. And they have decided to discuss all the issues, all the outstanding issues under this framework: the issue of terrorism, the issue of Kashmir, peace and tranquility on LOC. I am sure that the two prime ministers will find a way to move ahead on all these issues. We should wholeheartedly support them.
You know, but Mr. Kulkarni, while currently you are, of course, with the Observer Research Foundation, you have been with the BJP and the RSS, you've seen them very closely. Now, there have been voices that have questioned any move to try and start a dialogue with Pakistan. I'm not talking even about the alliance partners like the Shiv Sena. Even within the BJP, there are those fringe elements, there are those voices within the RSS. Has that changed, or perhaps is Narendra Modi in a position where he can be dismissive of these voices of skepticism or criticism within his party, unlike Manmohan Singh in the UPA?
No, I can say that even within the Congress, there were people who were not fully with Dr. Manmohan Singh, which is why, in spite of being a Prime Minister for 10 long years, he could not pay a visit to Pakistan even once.
True.
So there are people who are not fully supportive in most political parties. But slowly, the momentum for supporting the dialogue process, this momentum will pick up speed and breadth, as is actually happening in Pakistan. You know, in Pakistan, the political spectrum, the ruling party as well as the opposition are today on the same page that relations with India should improve. The same should happen in India.
Absolutely, but Mr. Kulkarni, you're right when you say that there is a momentum which is being built up as far as engaging with Pakistan is concerned, engaging with a neighbor is concerned. What would you then want to say about the position that this government initially took? It was not the UPA's position. In fact, there are certain tweets from the past by the Prime Minister, when he was not a Prime Minister actually, where he called this Neech Rajniti. Where they were killing, Pakistan was killing our soldiers along the border, and we were offering them biryani. It was called famously biryani diplomacy. What seems to have changed, and why should this criticism not stick?
You know, you are right. See, many politicians are inconsistent in their positions on important issues. But I see that the Prime Minister, after a certain flip-flop between May 2014 and now, he seems to have taken a bold and a determined position on engaging Pakistan in a dialogue process, which is, you know, in spite of past inconsistency, is something that should be supported. Because what is important is that our two governments, our two countries can never move ahead by having a hostile relationship that is perpetual. Only dialogue can help resolve the outstanding issues, be it Kashmir or terrorism or even tranquility on LOC. And the two seem to have come together, which is something very positive. So let's welcome it.
Well, you know, of course, that seems to be the mood within the government, at least the way Sushma Swaraj has completely done that U-turn, and she does say now that dialogue is important, something that they were completely against to just till a few months back or even till a year back. But Mr. Kulkarni, do stay on with us. We will also be joined by more guests from both India and Pakistan. This coverage continues. Remember, another couple of minutes from now is when we are expecting Prime Minister Narendra Modi's special aircraft to land at Lahore. It will be a historic moment in more than a decade. 2002 was really the last time when, of course, Atal Bihari Vajpayee went.
Okay, these are pictures coming in from the Lahore airport. This is right outside the Lahore airport. These are pictures coming in of the Pakistani delegation, people who were along with the Pakistani Prime Minister. They are now, in fact, slowly going in. This is a very significant meeting, not just for not just for India from Indian standpoint, but also from the Pakistani standpoint, where there are a lot of people who are paying a lot of attention to detail as far as this meeting is concerned.
And security, of course, has been heightened, and red zone has been in fact declared.
And the latest that we were here, there you see these are delegates from Pakistan.
The Pakistani ministers, in fact, now going inside the airport, as you can see, and we believe that Mr. Nawaz Sharif's convoy is also on its way.
It's also believed that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to stay at the Allama Iqbal Airport, as Kaswar Kalasra told us. He is going to stay there till 5 p.m. Pakistan time. That means 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. That is when his plane will take off. So we are expecting that in about 20 to 25 minutes from now, around 4:15. Around 4:15 is when we are expecting Indian Standard Time.
Yes.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi to land for his now famous Modi-Pak pit stop.
That meeting will last for an hour, and perhaps a lot of people will ask if Paris could lead to formal resumption of dialogue. Will this 1 hour meeting lead to cricket as well? Cricketing fans will also be watching that.
26th of November, YSR Congress Party MP from Rajampet, PV Mithun Reddy, along with his supporters, allegedly slapped the Tirupati airport manager Rajshekhar when airport authorities refused.
The winters are upon us. Time to take out your sweater jackets and, in my case, cap. In fact, my colleague Rohit has already started knitting. Now, Sony smartphones, I really like them, because they have their own design philosophy.